I want to show you guys this video which illustrates perfectly what happened over the weekend. This is in Valencia. That's an orange tree. As you can see, there's a bucket there or something to harness, and then they just shake the tree and all the oranges come falling down. Some of them fall on the floor, but this is so much faster than like plucking them one by one, right? And they just keep going until most of them fall. Some survive, right? Some of them are not going to fall no matter how hard you shake. So let me just pause that for a minute. So as you can see, they've done these trees here. You can see some of the oranges on the floor. Some of the oranges survive either because they're not ripe enough to come down, or for whatever reason they're not going to detach yet. They probably do them a little bit later, maybe a couple of weeks after the fact. But the idea is they have this big sort of bucket thing there, this harness, and then they shake the tree as hard as possible, and then the loose hands, the paper hands, come falling down. So that there are whales, right, that place their orders at low bids, right? Low bids at very low prices. That's obviously crypto. Those are your tokens, right? They shake, they go up, down, because they shake the longs and the shorts and all the big leverages, the 100x's, the 200x's, the 10x's, the 15x's come falling down eventually. The ones that are left are the diamond hands, you know, those that are not panicked no matter what. So that's most XRP army members. That's me there. Low hanging fruit, but still, you know, holding on no matter what. So basically, there's been talk of manipulation in the crypto sphere over the weekend. And we saw this happen. Somebody, an analyst, showed how a bunch of people went and placed bids at really low points, right? Before the crash, before, you know, the dump, right? So they kind of preempted it and realized that something was going to happen before it happened. And this raised kind of, raised eyebrows, because we've seen this happen before in crypto. This isn't new. And also, what usually happens is they pick a period of time where there's already some kind of FUD in the system. So they already knew we were dealing with, you know, this whole tariffs thing, right? And that already created FUD in the system. You know, the stock markets, you know, Nvidia, Microsoft, all the big stocks, NASDAQ, everybody was scared, right? So they used the opportunity of the existing FUD to pile this thing on top of crypto. And we've seen this before when whales and manipulators use the existing noise to create even further noise to hide their manipulation. It's not new. We saw it happen during, you know, a lot during COVID times. You know, when things kicked off in the Middle East, there would be some kind of FUD, and then whales would use the opportunity to pound it a little bit more. Think about it as momentum, right? If something is already in motion, it takes less energy to keep it moving than, you know, to start something from zero, which requires inertia, right? So the existing FUD takes care of the inertia, and then they just pile on top of it. So that's what I believe happened. A lot of people are saying that this is XRP specific, right? But I don't actually completely buy that. I think that it was a general alt market thing, because if you look at ETH actually suffered a lot more than XRP did, right? And ETH is nowhere near recovery. Bitcoin made its way back over 100,000, which was where it started before the dip. And XRP isn't quite back yet, right? But ETH is just nowhere near being back. So that's been hit pretty badly. There was that tweet apparently that was sent by Eric Trump. I didn't actually see the tweet. I just saw a lot of people talking about it. And apparently he edited it to remove the thank me later or something like he said. And he's kind of seems to be pushing, you know, people to buy ETH. We know that President Trump's fund stacks ETH. They don't stack XRP, they stack ETH. So there might be some manipulation going on there as well. But the conspiracy theory that I don't completely buy is that Bitcoin maximalists are trying to showcase the strength of Bitcoin compared to, you know, the altcoins. So to discourage or to spark some kind of, you know, doubt in the minds of those that are trying to build this strategic reserve. So, you know, the word on the street is that because Bitcoin isn't a known quantity, a known entity in terms of who made it, who created it. It's not US based, right? But XRP is US based, Cardano and all those. And this was supposed to showcase how fragile and volatile these altcoins are compared to Bitcoin. And what a great time to do it, and how beautifully executed it was done and shown. Unfortunately, Bitcoin also did crash. I mean, the price of Bitcoin did dip dramatically. So, I don't understand what that actually shows. Yes, we all knew that Bitcoin is stronger than altcoins during crashes, right? So Bitcoin would do a 20% crash, for instance, and the others would do, 40, 50% crashes. So the manipulation might be over, but, the FUD of the tariffs, that's still ongoing. And we have to remember that the actual traditional stock market still has an influence on crypto. So if they're afraid to buy risky stocks like tech stocks, that's going to have a direct effect on Bitcoin, which is going to have an effect on the rest of the crypto market. So yeah, there might have been manipulation, which would seem to be the case. Some people have even shown, I think it was Cryptos R Us, I saw in this video that he made, showing somebody placing hundreds of millions behind XRP to try and pump the price on Coinbase, I think it was. But the other exchanges didn't respond. So it seems to be like something was going on that made sure that what we would normally expect to happen didn't happen. Because, if somebody bought $1 billion worth of XRP on Binance, it would pump the price of XRP on Coinbase. It would get the price going. But it didn't happen, regardless of whatever else they did. So that seems to suggest that something else was going on, beyond what meets the eye. But the moral of the story, obviously, is that those of you who diamond-handed live to see another day. Your tokens are the same as before. You have just the same number of tokens. You didn't get shaken off, this big white van thing, right? That's, I don't know, the whale's wallet. All the paper hands, all the tokens are being delivered to the whales, right? Your tokens aren't there. I have my own anecdotal evidence for the price being manipulated. So I told you guys I was away over the weekend and I didn't even check my crypto, right? But on Friday before I head out, I was playing with MEXC, right? And I placed a couple of orders on MEXC because I'm trying to learn all of the tools that they have on there. I placed my order on a very volatile asset that I'm also researching at the moment, which is called XCN. And I picked XC. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. XCN. That's the one. Onyx Coin. So Onyx Coin. And I picked this because of the very, very volatile nature of it, right? So, things can happen quickly. So I put two orders, one long and one short. $30, right? So I threw $30 long, $30 short. So I did a 5x long and a 2x short, right? And I put a bunch of like triggers and, stop losses, etc. Just so I can, have a feel of it, see how things react. Do things get triggered quickly enough? Blah, blah, blah. By the way, if you want to use MEXC, I've got my affiliate link in the description that would enter you for the prize draw, $20,000, I think it is. By the way, there's like just a few days left of that. So those of you that have already clicked it, you're sort of in the run for that money, I guess. I'm not allowed to play it because it's my affiliate link. So good luck with that. Anyhow, so yeah, I came back. I looked at my orders and both of them were liquidated. And it's been a long time since I've been liquidated because I never play dangerous longs. Also, I always put very small amounts, right? And even this was smaller than my normal leverage plays. This is just, again, for educational purposes, me learning the system, preparing myself for, the big time when the euphoria starts. I've signed up now for about 6 different new accounts on exchanges, and I'm playing with all of those exchanges at the moment. There's a video that I'm making about another exchange and I'm using from the UK, apart from MEXC. I will release that also soon. But again, I want to make sure that everything works on that exchange before I make a video that, I publish. Anyway, the moral of the story, both orders were liquidated and they were both liquidated within minutes of each other. So normally when longs and shorts are liquidated, they happen within maybe an hour, maybe 30 minutes. There's a bit of gap between them, right? Because of the natural market movement. something pumps and then it dumps, or something dumps and it bounces, or what have you, right? But this seemed to be a deliberate washout of all of the leverages. I mean, like a 2x was liquidated. Granted, it was a short, and we had this huge 50% dump on XEN, which was devastated even more than normal altcoins being a micro cap, or I don't know if it's still a micro cap because it's pumped significantly lately. The 5x long was also liquidated. The short was liquidated first because what happened was that it pumped and then it dumped, right? And I don't know, man. It just, the whole thing smells, which is why, you dollar cost average, you hold. You don't play with dangerous leverage. Don't be like YouTubers. Don't be like me. Diamond hands, dollar cost average. Have a little bit of dry powder on the side for eventualities like this one. We haven't seen this in a while, this proper big dump. They used to happen more frequently back in the day. But this apparently was the largest liquidation event in the history of crypto. So that's saying something. So I'm not surprised that, both got washed out. And there's liquidations in both directions. So there's a lot of wrecked people today, not very happy. And there's bound to be investigations as we go forward. But, hodl, good times ahead. Not financial advice, do your own research. Peace.